Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to my another video. Today I want to talk about one of the most popular book that I have ever read, that is Godan by Munshi Premchand, and you all heard it about. आप सबने इस बुक के बारे में ज़रूर सुना होगा, स्पेशली इन द स्कूल टाइम काफ़ी लोगों ने पढ़ी भी होगी. That let me show you the book Godan by Munshi Premchand. And before I talk about the book, I would like to say a few words about Munshi Premchand. Munshi Premchand regarded as one of the greatest writer in Hindi and Urdu literature. He often called as emperor of the novel. उपन्यास सम्राट उनको कहा जाता था. And what's make his writing special is that he didn't write about kings and palaces. He wrote about ordinary people, social issues, social realities, and his writing felt real because they are deeply connected with human emotions and social realities. And even today, decades after they were written, his writing still remain relevant and continue to inspire readers across generation. And Godan was considered to be one of the finest and most celebrated novel. Before reading this book, I had heard many people say that Godan is a classic and that every student should read it. And honestly, I thought it was just another old novel. However, after reading it, I realized Godan was much more than a novel, much more than a story. It reflects on society, it reflects on social issues, it reflects on human emotions, their struggles, their dreams. And for those who have not read it yet, I would tell you that Godan revolve around the life of a Hori, a poor farmer. His dreams are simple. He just wants a simple, ordinary life. And his dream is he wants to own a cow. Now, even today, it might sound small, it might sound weird, owns a cow, but at that time, owning a cow, reflection of fulfillment, dignity, respect. What touched me the most was that Hori was not asking for a luxury, he was not asking for a wealth, he was not asking for a power. He just only wanted a simple and respectable life, and but yet life kept him testing again and again. And as I read this book, I found myself sympathy for Hori because no matter how hard he worked, no matter what he done, few new problems kept appearing again and again. And sometimes I feel frustrated because life seems so unfair to him. But then I realized something. Is not this true even today? Many people work hard, many people are honest, many people sacrifice for their families, but yet life does not reward them immediately, yet life does not reward them fairly. Is it true even today? So, this was my first major lesson from Godan, that life is not always fair, but people still continue moving forward because of hope. Another thing that deeply moved me was Hori's sense of responsibility. Even when he was struggling financially, he continued thinking about his family. He continued making sacrifice. Sometimes he made mistakes. Sometimes he made decisions that I personally disagree with. But I could see that most of his decisions come from love and responsibility. Reading this made me think about the responsibility carried by the ordinary people. We often celebrate extraordinary success, but we rarely talk about the silent struggle of ordinary people who wakes up every day and continue fighting for their families. Godan made me appreciate those people more. This book also highlight social issues. It talk about poverty, talk about inequality, it talk about social pressure, it talk about caste, etc. What surprised me was that even though it was written many years ago, many of these issues still exist today, and that's what makes this book timeless. While reading, I often felt that I was not reading history, I was reading reality. And one of the biggest strength of Premchand writing is that his character felt real. They are not perfect one, they are human beings. They make mistakes, they have strength, they have weakness, and perhaps that is why readers can connect with them so deeply. I also want to talk about Dhania, wife of Hori. In my opinion, she was the strongest character in the novel. She is practical, she is courageous, and many times she shows more strength than the people around her. Her character reminds me that true strength often exists quietly. It doesn't always come with the power and status. Sometimes it comes from endurance, sometimes it comes from courage during difficult time. And another lesson that I learned from Godan is that society often judges people without understanding their circumstances. Many characters face criticism, many characters are misunderstood. And while reading this, I kept asking myself, how often do we judge people without knowing their struggle? How often do we form opinions without knowing someone's reality, without understanding someone's reality? Right? This book teaches empathy. It teaches us to see beyond appearances. It teaches us to understand human suffering. And I think that's one of the greatest gift literature can offer. Personally, Godan made me reflect on my own life too. Sometimes we become so focused on our goal that we forget grateful, forget to appreciate what we already have. Sometimes we complain about our struggles, but reading Hori Life reminded me that many people face challenges much bigger than ours. It doesn't mean that our struggles are not real, but it helps us to develop gratitude. It helps us develop perspective. If someone asks me whether Godan is worth reading today, my answer would be yes. Absolutely yes. Not because it is a famous book, not because it is a part of literature, but because it helps understand people, it helps understand society, and most importantly, it helps understand our emotions, ourselves. And in a world of full of fast content, short videos, and constant distractions, books like Godan reminded us to slow down and reflect. They reminded us that human emotions are same across generation. They reminded us dreams remains the same, struggles remain the same, hope remains the same, and perhaps that is why Godan continue to touch readers across generation and continue touch readers even today. To conclude, Godan is not just a story of a poor farmer. It is a story about dream, dignity, sacrifice, family, society, humanity. And after reading this book, I can honestly say that it left a deep impact on me. And I think on everyone it left a deep impact. So if you have ever read Godan, let me know your thoughts. And if you have not, I would definitely recommend giving it a chance. Thank you for watching. एंड प्लीज़ ज़रूर पढ़िएगा गोदान. आई हाईली रिकमेंड गिविंग इट अ चांस. बेस्ट बुक ऑफ हिंदी लिटरेचर. So thank you for watching. That's it for today's video, guys. See you in the next.